It's 7:05 p.m. on Christmas night, Moscow's Sheremetyevo. Airport packed with thousands heading home for the holidays, completely unaware that 7 miles away a delivery van painted with Santa Claus just opened its roof, revealing 10 Ukrainian drones spinning up in freezing air, hunting a $120 million plane disguised as civilian cargo but secretly loaded with cruise missiles. And to reach it, they must penetrate the most heavily defended airspace on Earth. This is how Ukraine weaponized Christmas and turned Moscow's busiest airport into a fireball. At 1900 hours, 7 miles from Sheremetyevo, the Santa van's roof slides open and 10 drones lift into freezing air in perfect synchronization. The action splits instantly. 4 Baba Yaga drones punch upward to 46 meters while 6 OS AFPV quads slam down to 80 feet, accelerate to 90 miles per hour, and lock into the exact departure corridor of an Aeroflot jet that just cleared the runway. Data scraped from real-time flight radar 24 hack turns that commercial flight path into digital invisibility, like a getaway car merging perfectly into rush hour traffic. These drones fly completely blind to the enemy, using only internal navigation, deliberately broadcasting zero GPS signals, so Russia's electronic warfare has nothing to spoof. But how did this weaponized gift even reach Moscow? It exploited the single greatest vulnerability of any security state: holiday chaos. For 36 hours, as Christmas traffic overwhelmed checkpoints, the Santa van became harmless festive noise. And overstretched FSB agents saw a manifest listing children's gifts and waved it through without checking the false bottom. Ukraine hadn't just smuggled in a weapon, they weaponized Christmas itself. 9 kilometers out, a Pantsir air defense battery screen flashed warnings. At 1904, the radar showed 6 echoes at 24 meters altitude, 85 meters per second, and the 27-year-old lieutenant sipping Christmas coffee thought hobbyist drone and pressed engage. 1 second later, a missile erupted on white-hot fire at Mach 3, and 4.1 seconds later, the first OSA drone vaporized in a 60-foot fireball. Confirmed hit, just a civilian quadcopter, comrades. They had no idea they'd executed the cheapest, most expendable piece in the swarm. The Pantsir's logic was flawless. 1 target down, 5 to go, automatically designating drone number 2. But that first kill wasn't failure, it was the trigger. The microsecond Pantsir registered the kill. The entire swarm executed. Ghost Protocol, all 5 remaining OSAs simultaneously severed their digital tethers to the motherships, the equivalent of an agent smashing their radio. They went completely dark with no signals in or out, flying on pure pre-programmed AI-powered visual navigation using hacked Aeroflot data as guide rails. To Pantsir's sensitive receivers hunting for electronic whispers, the 5 targets simply ceased to exist in radio frequency spectrum. But invisibility alone isn't enough, you must create illusion. As FPVs went dark, Baba Yaga number 2 unleashed its true weapon. Not a jammer, but a spoofer. It broadcast powerful falsified signals, perfectly mimicking all 5 missing drones, but projecting them climbing and veering away from the airport. The ultimate magic trick where 5 faint, difficult targets at low altitude vanished and were replaced by 5 stronger, clearer, less threatening targets moving predictably. The machine followed the lie, automatically dropping lock on real threats and tracking phantoms. Meanwhile, Baba Yaga number 3 unleashed targeted 20-watt digital static, a focused beam aimed precisely at X-band frequency of the second Pantsir battery on the airfield, Z's west side. Brilliant and brutal, one enemy system actively misled, the second completely blinded. For a moment the swarm was safe, but their own cleverness, those high-power signals deceiving and blinding enemies, had just painted giant glowing targets on their backs for something far more powerful. 55 miles away in Dubna, an S-400 system saw everything. Here's the critical difference. A Pantsir is a bodyguard scanning for small, fast threats up close. But an S-400 is an apex predator whose massive radar hunts the most valuable battlefield targets: command posts, AWACS planes, high-power jammers. The Baba Yagas had just made themselves perfect S-400 targets. Its computer dismissed phantom signals fooling Pantsir as noise, but locked onto 4 powerful real signals at 150 feet. It didn't see drones, it saw the enemy nerve center. The gravestone radar locked with chilling precision. Stakes escalated from difficult to impossible because S-400 wasn't preparing surgical strikes. It was launching 4ON-6E missiles -2-100-30-6- mile range weapons with 400-pound warheads designed obliterating strategic bombers. If those missiles launched, the motherships would be annihilated. AI command links severed, and the 6 FPVs flying blind would become tumbling plastic bricks crashing into forest. Mission failure, agents trapped in hostile territory. At 1905, the S-400 didn't hesitate launch authorization for 2 4ON-6E missiles flashed across screens. But Ukrainian strategy was built on one principle. You cannot defeat superior systems with force. You must defeat them with their own logic. Baba Yaga No. 4 was never just a mothership. It was the ace in the hole, its pre-programmed mission, activating the microsecond S-400 locked. You cannot distract brutally intelligent S-400 radar design filtering simple chaff. You must present a lie so perfect it has no choice but believe it. You give it a better target. 2 plasma flare cartridges ignited with blinding white-hot flash, while 4 modified thermal decoys ejected creating incandescent trail. In 0.9 seconds, the drone's apparent temperature leaped to over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and plasma balloon created radar signature 10 times larger than actual swarm. To 400's computer, 4 small difficult targets were eclipsed by single massive screaming hot signature, like a shark spotting small fish suddenly presented with bleeding whale. Gravestone radar's logic hijacked, lock shifting from real swarm to phantom 230 feet away. 2 $4 million 4ON-6E missiles roared from tubes screaming into Moscow sky chasing ghosts. 8 seconds later, they detonated harmlessly, like premature Christmas fireworks. Agents bought their lives but lost anonymity. Final window now open, just 18 seconds wide. At 1906, OSA drone number 6 peeled from the exposed swarm, electric motors screaming as it pitched into steep 65-degree terminal dive. Target: Il-76's left wing, precisely where main fuel tank connects to engine pylon. A spot no larger than a dinner plate, calculated not for biggest explosion but most catastrophic chain reaction. The drone struck, and the 7-pound-shaped charge did. An explode on contact half-second delay fuse let the warhead punch through aluminum and bury deep inside wing's fuel tank. Difference between surface fire and bomb in the heart. When it detonated, it focused entire force into single white-hot molten copper jet at 25,000 feet per second. Plasma jet instantly vaporized 400 gallons of JP-8 fuel, creating expanding fireball reaching 2,200 degrees. Fuel tank designed holding liquid not contained detonation ruptured under pressure wave, turning alloy frame into hypersonic shrapnel. But real devastation just began. Blast wave slammed cargo bay packed with oxygen canisters and 24 Kalibr missile warheads. Shock to violent sympathetic detonation, new event equivalent 1.5 tons TNT. Column of fire 220 feet high erupted from airfield heart. Brilliant, terrifying orange-black pillars so bright passengers over a mile away saw clearly. $120 million IL-76 and $20-4 million Kalibr cargo ceased existing, now crater of burning twisted metal. Fully loaded fuel truck engulfed, exploding, sending burning jet fuel river across tarmac, reaching adjacent ammunition depot. Sheremetyevo paralyzed, flights grounded. Airport shut 5 hours, 300 flights canceled, 42,000 passengers stranded Christmas night. But agents already gone. 21 minutes before first strike, Santa van and Lada sedan quietly pulled out. Just 2 vehicles melting into holiday traffic toward border 100% safe. Fire at Sheremetyevo just beginning because real damage was strategic, spreading like virus through Russian war machine. Instantly, Russia lost primary air bridge, delivering Kalibr missiles to Black Sea Fleet entire 10-day holiday. Illusion of civilian air corridors as safe military highways shattered. All disguised military flights from Moscow's 4 airports grounded, indefinitely triggering logistical nightmare. Political fallout more severe, humiliated Putin forced choosing. Protect capital's image or protect Donbass soldiers. He chose capital, pulling entire Pantsir battery from front lines, redeploying to create iron ring around Moscow, weakening air defense for troops in east. 72 hours later, Ukraine cashed check, launching 5 offensives across Kherson and Zaporizhia, punching Russian lines, suddenly receiving less artillery. Tactical price for Moscow's peace paid in blood on front lines. That Christmas night, Ukraine proved new warfare truth. You don't need armies making Moscow tremble. Just 10 drones, Santa and intelligence turning enemies' celebration into doomsday. This demonstrated that in AI drone and electronic warfare age, Earth's most powerful defenses can be defeated not through brute force, but layered deception plasma fooling $4 million missiles, spoofed radar creating phantoms, holiday chaos providing infiltration. Genius wasn't technology alone, but understanding every sophisticated system has exploitable logic, and hijacking that logic turns fortresses into traps. If this most audacious drone operation breakdown fascinated you, smash subscribe analyzing more real operations changing warfare rules. Comment what you'd hide next strike in if commanding SBU, because modern warfare creativity beats firepower every time. Future combat isn't biggest weapons, it's thinking 3 moves ahead, turning enemy strengths into fatal weaknesses.